Hi, welcome back to all of you. Today we are going to discuss from trigonometry. For the last lessons we are continuing with the trigonometry. So before you start watching this video, please like what I said always, please download the question paper from the description box below or join in our WhatsApp group, and there I will post all the questions that we are doing in the class. Okay, so let's start. This question is from February March 2018. February March 2018. Question number 5. If cos 2 theta, all of you please look at that question. If cos 2 theta is equal to minus 5 over 6. So cos 2 theta is, it is given that cos 2 theta is equal to minus 5 over 6, where 2 theta is an element of, 180 to 270 degrees, where 2 theta is an element of 180 to 270 degree. This 180 to 270 means which quadrants are that one? 180 to 270. So it means that if I, so assume that this is the y-axis and this is the x-axis. 180, you know that this is 180 and this one is 270. So 180 to 270 means that between these two quadrants, that means third quadrant and fourth quadrant. Okay, so in this third quadrant, between these two, third and fourth quadrant, which quadrant exactly that cos 2 theta lies? How can you find that one? So for that one, you know, here tan is positive. In the third quadrant, tan is positive, and here cos is positive. Am I right? Fourth quadrant, cos is positive. But look at this one. Cos 2 theta is minus 5 over 6. That means the value of cos is negative. So here it can't be negative. You understand? So the only possibility is to get cos as negative. The only possibility is that is on the third quadrant, because here you know that the value of cos is positive here on the fourth quadrant. So now only possibility is that lies on the third quadrant. Okay, so let's draw a point there. So on the third quadrant, this is that point. Okay, so here you know that the x value, what is the definition of cos 2 theta? Cos 2 theta is equal to minus 5 over 6. Okay, so what is the definition of cos theta? Adjacent side divided by hypotenuse. Adjacent side we represented with which letter? X. Hypotenuse we represented with r. That means here the value of x is minus 5 and the value of r is 6. So value of x is equal to minus 5 and value of r is equal to 6. So which one is short now? We don't know what is the value of y. Am I right? So you last class also we did a similar question like this. How to find the value of y without writing any more steps. Y is equal to, now you know that y, how can you find the value of y? Root of r squared minus x squared. That means root of r square, r is 6. So it is 6 square minus x. What is x? Minus 5 square. So it is root of 6 squared is 36 minus 5 squared is 25. 36 minus 25 is root of, what is 36 minus 25? 11. Okay, so the answer is the root 11. Okay, so here, but you have to listen very carefully one thing. The value of x is, now what is the value of x? Here this is y. So now look at this one. Our value of x is minus 5, value of r is 6, and here we got the value of y as root 11. Okay, but when we say value of y as root 11, look at this one here. You know that in this third quadrant, what is the value of x? It's supposed to be negative. So what is x here? Minus 5 is negative, because here x is negative. And here what is the value of y? Y is negative. Am I right? So even though we got the answer as y is equal to root 11, here what we have to write as y? Minus root 11. Why it is minus root 11? Because here on the third quadrant, this y axis, here it is negative. So this one is supposed to be minus root 11. So now we can see that the value of x is minus 5 and value of y is minus root 11. Okay. Now we can continue read that question. Calculate without using a calculator the values in the simplest form. So we have to find the following. Question number 5.1.1. What is the first question? 5.1.1. What is the first question? What is sine 2 theta? What is sine 2 theta? That's a simple question, because here also the angle is 2 theta. Here also the angle is 2 theta. So they are talking about the same angle. Okay. So by definition, what is sine in terms of x, y, and r? You know that sine is opposite side divided by hypotenuse. So what is opposite side? We represented y, and hypotenuse we represented with a r. Okay, opposite side by hypotenuse. Opposite side is y and hypotenuse is r. Okay, so what is the value of y here? We have x as minus 5 and y as minus root 11. So y divided by, that means minus root 11 divided by, what is r? R is equal to 6. So what is the answer of sine 2 theta? Minus root 11 divided by 6. Okay. Look at the next question. Sine squared theta. There you have to be very careful. 5.1.2. What is that one? Sine squared theta. So here it is, this angle is, it was 2 theta, but here what is that? Sine squared theta. Okay. So how can you find sine squared theta? You know, in double angle you studied a formula like this. What is the, so this is the question, we have to find the value of sine squared theta. But tell me, what is cos 2 theta? What are the expansions of cos 2 theta you studied? You studied cos 2 theta. There are 3 expansions. One is 2 cos squared theta minus 1. This one is sine, next one is 1 minus 2 sine squared theta, and the last one is cos squared theta minus sine squared theta. So we have to find the value of sine squared theta, not sine squared 2 theta. Okay, so we can't just apply y by r the whole square because it is square. No, because this one, if you want to write y by r, if I write this one y by r, this is sine theta is y by r, so sine squared theta is y by r the whole square. That is the wrong, because here the angle is 2 theta, but here what is the angle? It is theta, so you can't write like this. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, look at this double angle formula. Cos 2 theta is equal to 1 minus 2 sine squared theta. Okay, so here I'm going to write like that, 1 minus 2 sine squared theta. Okay, so from here, if I take this minus 2 sine squared theta to this side and this cos 2 theta to that side. Okay, so minus in this side it is 2 sine squared theta is equal to, this one is here, then I'm going to take this cos 2 theta to the other side, right side. So it is, here it is plus, so the other side it is minus cos 2 theta. Okay, so from here, what is sine squared theta? This is multiplication, 2 times sine square theta. So here it is 2 sine square, 2 times sine square theta. So if I want to take these 2 to the other side, multiplication here, other side it is division. So it is from here sine squared theta is equal to 1 minus cos 2 theta divided by 2. Okay, so 1 minus cos 2 theta, it is given in the question. What is cos 2 theta? Minus 5 over 6. So we can substitute here minus, that means this minus 5 over 6 divided by 2. So this one is 2. Okay, sorry, this is 2. Okay, so take your calculator and try to find the answer. This minus and minus becomes positive. Okay, so it is 1 plus 5 over 6 divided by 2. So use your calculator and try to find the answer. You will get the answer as 11 divided by 12. This answer you will get it from your calculator. Okay, 1, when you type in your calculator, you must be careful. This minus and minus becomes plus. So it is 1 plus 5 over 6 divided by 2. That means 11 over 12. Okay, so let's go to the next question. Okay, now look at the next question, 5.2. Simplify sine 180 minus x into cos of minus x into plus cos of 90 plus x into cos of x minus 180 to a single trigonometric ratio. This is question number 5.2. So what is the question? You have to simplify this one to a single trigonometric ratio. Okay, so now here in this question you know that you have to apply the reduction method. So here this is 0, this angle is 90, this is 180, and this one is 270 degrees. Okay, so first one, let's start with this one. So those who are doing this one for the first time, just try to follow in that order what I am saying. Okay, then it will be more easy for you. Okay, so let's start. 180 minus x. Okay, before I start this one, what is positive here on the first quadrant? You know that one. What is positive? All the angles are, all the trigonometries are positive. Here all sine, tan and cos. So the other 180 minus theta, 180 plus theta I am not going to write. I hope you studied that in your school. Okay, so now listen here. 180 minus x. 180 minus x means which quadrant? 180 minus, that means second quadrant. Second quadrant, what is positive? Sine is positive. Here what? That is sine. So it is positive. And if it is based on horizontal line, there is no change in the trigonometry. So listen once more. I am going to write the first step is equal to, listen once more. What I want to start? 180 minus x is in which quadrant? Second quadrant. Second quadrant, what is positive? Sine is positive. Here what? It is sine. So it is positive. Okay. Then if it is based on 180 or 0 or 360, no change. That means no change in the trigonometry. That means we are supposed to write positive sine x. This angle x. Okay. Then next one. Cos of minus x. What is that one, guys? You know, when you study trigonometry, you studied that sine of minus theta. What is the answer? Minus sine theta. Then here there is a difference. Cos of minus theta. It's not minus cos theta. It is supposed to be positive cos theta or plus cos theta. Okay. Then what is tan of minus theta? That is minus tan theta. So only difference is for this cos theta. Okay, so sine of minus theta, you have to remember this one. Okay, sine of minus theta is minus sine theta, cos of minus theta is positive cos theta, and tan of minus theta is minus tan theta. Okay, so here what is this one? Cos of minus x. cos of minus x, instead of theta there it is x, that's only difference. Okay, cos of minus x, it is positive cos x. So here what we are supposed to write, positive cos x, then here the symbol is plus. Okay, now next one, 90 plus x. So I told you, you must follow in this order. Okay, 90 plus x is in which quadrant? 90 plus, that means on the second quadrant. Second quadrant, what is this is how you want to think in your mind in that order. Okay, then you won't make mistake. Okay, 90 plus is in which quadrant? Second quadrant. Second quadrant, what is positive? Sine is positive. Here what? Cos. So what you have to do? What is the sign? Sorry, 90 plus x is in which quadrant? Second quadrant. Second quadrant, what is positive? Sine is positive. Here what? It is cos. So it is supposed to be negative. Okay, then if it is based on 90 or 270, what you have to do? You have to change the trigonometry to its co-function. That is what you studied. Am I right? Okay, if it is based on 90 or 270, you have to change to its co-function. Here the reduction is based on 90, so you have to change its co-function. What is the co-function of cos? Yeah, it's sine. Okay, so it is minus sine, then the angle, acute angle is x. So listen once more, 90 plus x is in which quadrant? Second quadrant. Second quadrant, what is positive? Cos. Here what? What I'm saying, 90 plus x is in which quadrant? Second quadrant. Second quadrant, what is positive? Sine. Here what? Cos. So it is negative. Then if it is based on 90 or 270, you have to change to its co-function. What is the co-function of cos? Sine. Okay, then times. Now look at this one, cos of x minus 180. You know only 180 minus x, but there it is x minus 180. So look at what I'm going to write. Okay, let's write no problem, let's write it there itself. Cos of, here this one I'm going to write like this. I'm going to take a minus as common factor. Okay, so now look at this, 180 minus x. Is it correct? Look at this one, minus into 180 is minus 180, that is this one. Minus into minus x, positive x, that is this one. That means this x minus, from this x minus 180 I took a minus common, so like this. So I can write this as 180 minus x. Now look at this one, cos of minus 180 minus x. So here you studied that cos of minus theta is positive cos theta. Look at this one, cos of minus theta is positive cos theta. So instead of this theta, just assume that this is 180 minus x. Instead of this theta, there it is 180 minus x. So this minus is there. Cos of, this minus is here, then 180 minus x. So you can see that instead of this theta, we have 180 minus x. So what we are supposed to write? Positive cos theta. What is our theta here? 180 minus x. That means cos of 180 minus x. So what you can understand from that one, cos of minus of an angle is the same as positive cos that angle. Okay, cos of minus of an angle is the same as positive cos that angle. Okay, like this, cos of minus of an angle is the positive cos that angle. Cos of minus of that angle is equal to positive cos that angle. Okay, so here we can write this is the same as cos 180 minus x. Okay, so let's write that one, let's complete that one once more. So this is equal to sin x into cos x, plus into minus is minus. Okay, then this one is sin x. Then how can you write this one? You know that this one is cos of 180 minus x. Okay, so what is 180 minus x? Which quadrant is 180 minus x? 180 minus, that means second quadrant. Second quadrant, what is positive? Sine is positive. Here what? It is cos, so it is negative. So here I am supposed to write negative. Then if it is based on 180 or 360, no change in the trigonometry. That means here cos, here also cos. Then the angle is x. So look at once more. I avoid one step there. We know that this one cos of minus 180 minus x is the same as cos 180 minus x. 180 minus x is in which quadrant? Second quadrant. Second quadrant, what is positive? Sine is positive. Here what? Cos. So it is negative. Okay, then if it is based on 180, no change in the trigonometry. So it is cos x. Okay, so this minus and this minus, again it is going to be positive. Am I right? Okay, so next step I am going to write like that. So this is equal to sin x into cos x. Then this minus and this minus is going to be positive. Then sin x cos x. So now look at this one, sin x cos x plus sin x cos x. So how many sin x cos x are there? Of course it's 2 sin x cos x. Am I right? Sin x cos x plus sin x cos x. That means there are 2 sin x cos x there. So that is equal to, so this is equal to 2 sin x cos x. 2 sin x cos x. Have you seen that one somewhere else? 2 sin x cos x. Is it something like what you studied? Yeah, you know that 2 sin x cos x is the same as sin 2x. That identity that you studied. Okay, so 2 sin x cos x is the same as sin 2x. So look at the question once more. What was the question? You have to write the answer in a single trigonometry. So did you get the answer in a single trigonometry? Yes, this one we got an answer in a single trigonometry, and that trigonometry is sine. Okay, so that is question number 5.2. Now let's go to question number 5.3. Okay, now let's start question number 5.3. What is question number 5.3? Determine the value of sin 3x cos y, sin 3x into cos y plus cos 3x into sin y, and it is given that 3x plus y is equal to 270. It is given that 3x, the value of 3x plus y is 270. That is given. Okay, so you have to determine the value of the sin 3x into cos y plus cos 3x into sin y. So can you say how can you find this one? Sin 3x cos y plus cos 3x sin phi. You can see that that one, sin 3x cos y plus cos 3x sin y. If I call this 3x as a and this y as b, my 3x is a and y is b. So 3x is a and y is b. What is that one? Now read with the a and b. Sin a cos b plus cos a sin b. Yeah, you know that one. What is that one? Sin of a plus b. So this is the same as sin of a plus b. Am I right? Okay, sin of a plus b. What is a and b here? A is 3x plus b is y. So sin of 3x plus y. Okay, so you in your class you studied this is sin A into cos B plus cos A into sin B. What is that one? Sin of A plus B. Then sin A into cos B minus cos A into sin B. What is that one? Sin of A minus B. Do you remember in your class you studied this one? Okay. Then what is the other one? Cos A cos B plus sin A sin B. So here there is a difference. When it is plus, here there it is minus. So it is cos of A minus B. Then what is this next one? Cos A cos B minus, same thing, but the only difference is here it is minus. Then sin A sin B. What is that one? Cos of A plus B. When here it is minus, here it is plus. When here it is plus, here it is minus. But for this one, sin A cos B plus, there is no change in the sign. If here it is plus, here also is plus. Okay. So you just remember sin A cos B plus cos A sin B, like that. Then it is sin A plus B. Okay. But cos sin, when it comes like that, if here it is plus, there it is minus. You can remember like this. Or in your question paper, the back side of your question paper, in that formula sheet, this one is given. But my advice is you have to know this one. Okay. Then only if this thing is in your mind, then only you can do this one. Immediately in your mind it will come, oh okay, this one is something like this. Do you understand? Okay. So sin A cos B plus cos A sin B. That is sin A plus B. Our A is 3x and our B is y. So what is 3x plus y in our question? It is given. Look at this one. They gave in the question 3x plus y is 270. So it is sin of 270. It is not given in the question that you must not use a calculator. So check in your calculator what is the answer. Sin 270, that is in your calculator you will get the answer as 1. So the value of that expression is 1. Okay. Now let's move to the next question. 5.4. Question number 5.4. What is question number 5.4? 2 cos x is equal to 3 tan x. What is that? 2 times cos x is equal to 3 tan x. 3 times tan x. Okay. What you have to find? 5.4.1, first question. 5.4.1. What is that one? Show that the equation can be rewritten as 2 sin squared x plus 3 sin x minus 2 is equal to 0. So you have to write this equation like what is written in the question. How they want? 2 sin square x plus 3 sin x minus 2 is equal to 0. You have to show that this equation you can write like this also. Okay. So now let's check how can we write that one. Yeah, this is a very simple thing. First step is very simple. I think all of you now in your mind you already think like that. This tan x is the same as sin x by cos x. So that is my step, first step. So it is 2 cos x is equal to 3 into, instead of this tan x, it is sin x divided by cos x. Now I am going to take this cos x. This cos x is in the denominator. or division. So if I want to take this to the left side, it is multiplication. So what is this? Cos x into cos x, that is cos squared x. Okay, so next step, I'm going to write 2 into cos x is cos squared x, then is equal to 3 sin x. Now I'm going to take this 3 sin x to this side. Okay, so what is that one? That is 2 cos squared x minus 3 sin x is equal to 0. Okay, so but still we are not like this, we want to prove like this. Okay, so what is this cos squared x? Yeah, in grade 10 you studied sin squared x, like this, sin squared x plus cos squared x. The answer is 1. Okay, so what is cos squared x? Instead of cos squared x, you can write as, take this sin squared x to the other side. Okay, so it is 1 minus sin squared x. Okay, so instead of this cos squared x, what you can write? 1 minus sin squared x. Okay, so 2 into 1 minus sin squared x, then remaining minus 3 sin x is equal to 0. Now expand the bracket. 2 into 1 is 2, 2 into minus is minus 2 sin squared x, then minus 3 sin x is equal to 0. Okay, so now look at the next step here. This one is minus 2 sin, so I am writing that in order. Okay, highest power first, then the next one, x squared x, constant, like that. Okay, so minus 2 sin squared x, then this one minus 3 sin x, then this constant term plus 2 is equal to 0. Okay, so if I multiply throughout with a negative or divide with a negative, both are same. Okay, if I multiply with a negative or divide with a negative, so what is going to happen? Minus into minus, positive sin squared x, minus into minus, positive 3 sin x, minus into plus, minus 2 is equal to 0. Look at what we want to prove. 2 sin squared x, 2 sin squared x plus 3 sin x plus 3 sin x minus 2 is equal to 0. So now we got an 2 cos x is equal to 3 tan x, like this. Okay, that is that question. Then next one, determine the general solution of 2 cos x is equal to 3 tan x. So you have to find the general solution of that one. So before I go to the next question, 5.4.2, you have to understand now that this 2 cos x is equal to 3 tan x is the same as this one. From that one we proved like this. Or what was the previous question? What was the previous? Show that this equation can write like this. That means this equation is the same as this one. Okay, now look at the next question. (5.4.2). What is 5.4.2? 5.4.2. What is that one? Determine the general solution of 2 cos x is equal to 3 tan x. You have to find the general solution of this expression. Okay, so previous question we already proved that this expression is the same as this one. This one we already proved that one. Okay, so here 2 cos squared, I am going to write like this: 2 cos x is equal to 3 tan x, and I know that that is the same as this one, so it implies that 2 sin squared x plus 3 sin x minus 2 is equal to 0. Okay, so here what I am going to do is I am going to call m as sin x. So I called m as sine x. So what is this equation now? 2 sine squared x, that means 2m square, because we know that m is sine x, that means sine squared x means m squared, plus 3 sine x, that means 3m minus 2 is equal to 0. Okay, so we got a quadratic equation now. 2m squared plus 3m minus 2 is equal to 0. Okay, now here we have to factorize this one. So what are the factors? 2m m is equal to 0. Okay, so now what are the factors here? Plus 2 minus 1. So minus 1 into 2 is minus 2 minus m, 4m minus m is 3m. Okay, fine. So if you want to know more about this one, there is another lesson in my YouTube channel, so you can look at that lesson and try to understand how can you factorize like this. Okay, so 2m minus 1 into m plus 2 is equal to 0. So from here, what is 2m? So it means that either 2m minus 1 is equal to 0 or m plus 2 is equal to 0. So let me say 2m minus 1 is equal to 0. Okay, so 2m minus 1 is equal to 0, or what? M plus 2 is equal to 0. Okay, so if 2m minus 1 is equal to 0 means 2m is equal to 1 or m is equal to 1 over 2. Okay, and m plus 2 is equal to 0 means m is equal to minus 2. Actually, what is our m? What we substituted? We substitute m as sin x. Am I right? So here m is equal to half x. It implies that we know that our m is sin x. Sin x is equal to half. Okay, and here also m is equal to minus 2. So what is that? Sin x is equal to minus 2. Okay, now look at this one. First we got a sin x is equal to half. So what is the reference angle here? First we can find the reference angle. Reference angle is equal to sine inverse of 1 over 2. What is sine inverse of 1 over 2? That is 30 degrees. Okay, so we got the reference angle as 30 degrees. Now look at this one. Here sin x is equal to half. Is it positive or negative? Of course it is positive. Half means positive. Sine is a positive number, or sine, the value of sine is positive. Sine is positive in which quadrants? You know, in you know this sine is positive in the first quadrant and second quadrant. Okay, sine is positive in the first quadrant and second quadrant. So we have to consider both of that one. Sine is positive in the first quadrant and the second quadrant. Okay, so let me write it here, the continuation of that one. Sine is positive in the first quadrant and second quadrant. So first quadrant, you know that first quadrant all the trigonometries are positive. So what we can write? X is equal to, first quadrant it is acute angle. This reference angle itself is an acute angle. So it is x is equal to 30 plus, when you write the general solution, it is plus k 360. When it is sine or cos, plus k 360, and if it is tan, plus k 180. Okay, then so now we got first quadrant x is equal to 30 plus k 360. Now look at once more. Sine is positive in first quadrant and third quadrant. So what about the third quadrant? Third quadrant. Okay, third quadrant, how can you write? Third quadrant, it is 180 minus reference angle. So it is x is equal to 180 minus reference angle. What is the reference angle? It is 30. So it is 180 minus 30 plus, since it is a general solution, you have to write plus k 360. So x is equal to 180 minus 30 is 150 plus k 360 degree. So we got two values of x. X is equal to 30 plus k 360 and x is equal to 150 plus k 360. Okay. Now look at this one, sin x is equal to, so we done with it, sin x is equal to half, okay, sin x is equal to minus 2. What we can do there, sin x is negative 2. So if I try to draw a graph of sin x, if I try to draw a graph of sin x, just y is equal to sin x graph, okay. So here let me draw a rough graph. So here we can see that the maximum value of sin is 1 and the minimum value of sin is minus 1. Okay, so sin is from minus 1 and 1, or you have to understand that the maximum value of sin is 1 and the minimum value of sin is minus 1. So here what is the value of sin x is equal to minus 2. That means there is no value after 1 or after minus 1. Do you understand? So minus 2 means if you try to find the answer, you don't get the answer because there is no value for sin in minus 2. Or you take your calculator and try to find the reference angle. You are supposed to find the reference angle, am I right? So if you try to find the reference angle here, reference angle is equal to, how can you find the reference angle? Sine inverse of, you just avoid this minus to find the reference angle, sine inverse of 2. Okay, so what is the answer in your calculator? In your calculator, if you try to find sine inverse of 2, it is undefined. Why it is undefined? Because the minimum and maximum value of sine is from minus 1 to 1. So here the value of sine is minus 2. That is why you can't find an answer. So the only two solutions. One is x is equal to 30 plus k 360 and the other one is x is equal to 150 plus k 360. That. Okay, question number 5.4.3. Hence determine two values of y. We have to find another two values of y, and what is the condition? The value of y must be between 144 less than or equal to y and less than or equal to 260. So it means that we have to find another two values of y, and the value of y is between 144 and 216. Okay, so what is this y in our question? This is a continuation of that question, same question. Okay, in our question we know that 2 cos x is equal to 3 tan x, and what is this 5.4.3? 5.4.3, what is that question? Hence determine two values of y in that interval that are solutions of 2 cos 5y is equal to 3 tan 5y. 2 cos 5y is equal to 3 tan 5y. Okay, so what is the meaning of this one? How can you find the value of y between these two interval? Okay, so what you have to do is, here in this question, look at our expression given at the beginning of that question. 2 cos x is equal to 3 tan x, and look at this question, 2 cos 5y is equal to 3 tan 5y. Can you see a similarity there? Instead of this x, they change that one as 5y. Instead of this x, they change that one as 5y. That means this x is 5y here. Okay, so instead of x, you have to write 5y. Am I right? Instead of this here also, instead of x, you have to write as 5y. Okay, otherwise everything is the same. 2 cos then 5y, instead of x 5y is equal to 3 tan, then instead of x 5y. Okay, now here so in the previous question we already got two general solutions of this equation. In the previous question we got, what are the general solutions of that one? X is equal to 30 plus k 360 degrees, and what was the second general solution? X is equal to 150 plus k 360 60 degrees. Okay, so x is equal to 30 plus k 360 and x is equal to 150 plus k3. These are the general solutions that you got for the previous question. Okay, so now previous question means general solution for x. Okay, but in this question, what is the only change? Instead of x, we have to write 5y. So look at what I am going to write. Instead of that x, we have to write 5y. So 5y is equal to 30 plus k 360. Am I right? So here also, instead of this x, when it is x, these are the two general solution. Okay, so instead of x, what we have to write? 5y. So here also x is equal to, that means 5y is equal to 150 plus k 360 degrees. Okay, so here if I divide throughout with a 5 divided by 5 divided by 5 divided by 5, check in your calculator what is the answer. So 5 and 5 cancel. Y is equal to 30 divided by 5 is 6 plus k, what is this one, 72 degrees. Okay, so 6 plus k 72 degrees. So y is equal to 6 plus k 72, and here also if I divide throughout with y divided by, I mean throughout with the 5, so it is divided by 5, this 5 and 5 cancel. So what is remaining? Y is equal to 150 divided by 5 is 30 plus k, what is this one, 72. Okay, so now we got expression for y is equal to 6 plus k 72 and y is equal to 30 plus k 72. Okay, now look at our question. We want, look at this one here, we want to find two values of y between these two intervals. That is very important. We want to find two values of y that between that two intervals. Okay, so now what you can do is from here you have to check, you know that k is stands for the cycle, first cycle. If on the first cycle, if it is like this, k1, then the second one k2, then the third one k3. Am I right? Okay, so k you can substitute 1 2 3, or if it is a clockwise, minus 1 minus 2 minus 3, like that. Okay, so I'm trying to substitute different values of k, so that I have to, what is my aim? I have to find the value of y between these two intervals. Okay, so now let me substitute the value of k as 1 here on this one, just for a trial. Let's try to substitute, let k is equal to 1. Okay, so what is this one? Y is equal to 6 plus 1 into 72. 1 times 72 is 72. 72 plus 6 is, y is equal to 78. Look at this, we got a value of y, that is 78, but there is a problem. Is this 78 is in between these two intervals? No. So if we substitute the value of k as 1, we are not getting the correct y value that we want. We want the y values, two y values between these two intervals. Okay, so now what I am going to do, let me try k as 2. Okay, so this is not possible because this one is not in that interval. So let me substitute the value of k as 2. So what is that one? Y is equal to 6 plus 2 times 72. So what is that one? 2 times 72 is 144. 144 plus 6, 150. That means the value of y is 150, and here you can see that 150 is in the interval 144 and between 144 and 216. Okay, now look at the next one. So we got one y value, that is 150. Okay, so let's try to substitute here also. Let y is equal to 2. I mean sorry, not y here. Let k is equal to, we are supposed to substitute the value of k. So let k is equal to 2. So what is that one? Y is equal to 30 plus 2 times 72. What is 2 times 72? 144. 144 plus 30 is 174. And here also you can see that 174 is between these two intervals. So what are the two values of y we got? First value is y is equal to 150, that is between that interval, and second value is y is equal to 174, and that one is also between that two intervals. So look at the question once more. What is the question? Hence determine two values of y in that interval that are solutions of this one. Okay, so since this one is a part of the previous question, the main question, okay, so compare that main question and this one, you can see that the only change is this x. Instead of this x, they wrote as 5y. So from there, this main question we got two general solution, x is equal to 30, that was a previous question, x is equal to 30 plus k 360 and x is equal to 150 plus k 360. So in this question, the only difference is instead of x, it is 5y. So instead of this x, you wrote a 5y, instead of this x also 5y. Then simplify and try to find two values. So here the answers are y is equal to 150 and it is 174. Okay, look at the next question, 5.5. Question number 5.5. What is that question? G of x is equal to minus 4 cos of x plus 30. G of x is equal to minus 4 cos of x plus 30. So can you say what is the name of this 4 or this minus 4? Minus 4 cos x plus 30. What is this 4 stands for? 4 stands for the amplitude. What is that? 4 stands for the amplitude. Okay. What is the meaning of amplitude? What you studied in your class? Amplitude means, for example, this one. Here this value is 1, this is minus 1. For y is equal to let's say cos x. Okay. So y is equal to cos x means that here the amplitude is 1. So if I try to draw this graph, this is a rough graph. This is minus 1. So here you can see that here the amplitude is 1. So in this graph, when you draw, the maximum value is positive 1 and the minimum value is negative 1. Okay. So in case if the equation is like this, y is equal to 3 cos x. So how can we draw what is the maximum value and minimum value? Since the amplitude is 3, it means that the maximum value of that graph is 3 and the minimum value of that graph is minus 3. So if you try to draw that graph, the maximum value is 3 and the minimum value is minus 3. That's the amplitude means. Okay. So in this question, it doesn't matter minus 4 or plus 4 because it stands for from which value to which value. So here it is amplitude is 4. Okay. Now look at the first question. Write down the maximum value of g of x. So can you say how many marks for that question? Only 1 mark. So what is the maximum value of this minus g of x is equal to minus 4 cos x plus 30? So in that one, you know that the amplitude is minus 4. It means that the minimum value of graph is minus 4 and the maximum value is 4. So what is the maximum value? 5.5.1. 5.5.1. It's only 1 mark. Maximum value is equal to positive 4. That means that graph the minimum value is minus 4 and the maximum value is positive 4. Okay. Next question, 5.5.2. 5.5.2. Determine the range of gx plus 1. You have to find the range of gx plus 1. What is the question? Range of g of x plus 1. So what is our g of x? This is our g of x. So we have to find the range of g of x plus 1. Okay. So what is the meaning of range? Range means possible y values. Okay. So what is domain? possible x values. So domain is possible x values and range is possible y values. Okay, so here the question is to find the range of, that means possible y values of this g of x. So here if I draw this graph roughly, I told you this graph the maximum value is positive 4 and the minimum value is negative 4. Okay, so what is the meaning of this? Is our g of x, assume that this is our g of x. Okay, I don't know the graph is correct, I just want to show you this maximum value is 4 and the minimum value is minus 4. Okay, then what is the meaning of this one, g of x plus 1? G of x plus 1 means that this entire graph is shifted 1 units upwards. Do you understand? This entire graph is shifted 1 units upwards. So in case if it is g of x minus 1, what's the meaning of that? This graph g of x shifted 1 units downwards. If it is minus 1, 1 units downwards. If it is plus 1, this graph is shifted 1 units upwards. Okay, so here what is the question? Range, that means you have to find the possible y values. So if it is g of x, what is the y value? You know that g of x is this one. I told you because of this minus 4, the minimum value is minus 4 and the maximum value is positive 4. So this is the range of this original graph g of x. So what about g of x plus 1? That means this range is shifted 1 units upwards. Am I right? Okay, so look at this one. This is minus 4 plus 1. Minus 4 plus 1, that is minus 3, and 4 plus 1, that is 5. That means the new range is minus 3 comma 5. Look at this one. How many units shifted? 1 units of how many units shifted? 1 unit. Okay, so here the maximum value is 4. Am I right? Okay, so if from the maximum value, that maximum value 4 shifted 1 units upward, means the maximum value will be at what? 5. And here the minus 4 is the minimum value. 1 units up means the minimum value will be at minus 3. So if I draw the graph, maximum value is 4 and the minimum value is 3, and it will go like this. So look at this one, 1 units upward. So look at the answer, minimum value is minus 3 and maximum value is 5. Okay, so that's it. That's the answer of range of g of x plus 1. What is the answer? Minus 3 comma 5. Okay, now look at the next question. The graph of g is shifted 60 degrees to the left and then reflected about the x-axis to form a new graph. Wow, that is a good question. What is that one? There are two type of transformation done there. The first, the graph of g is shifted 60 degrees to the left. So this is our g of x. Am I right? If this graph is shifted 60 degrees to the left, means, you know, in your class you studied, if a graph shifted 60 units to the left means it's not minus. That is what normally we are thinking. If it is to the left, it is minus, and if it is to the right, it is plus. But in the case of graph, it is not like that. What is that? If a graph is shifted to the left, you are supposed to add plus how many degrees? Here in this question it is 60 degrees. Okay, so look at what I am going to write. This new graph, so let me write here, minus 4 cos x. This x I have to change. Look at that one. This x I have to change. What must I change on this x? 60 degrees to the left. So what must I do? So 60 degrees to the left means that here I am supposed to add plus 60 degree. If a graph is shifted 60 degrees to the left, it means that I am supposed to add 60 degrees to the right. If the question is 60 degrees to the right, then here I must change this x as x minus 60. So what is remaining there? This 30 is still there, so it is plus 30. Do you understand? Look at the question once more. The graph g is shifted 60 degrees to the left. 60, if a graph is shifted 60 degrees to the left means this x value will change. 60 degrees to the left means plus 60, okay, right means minus 60, just opposite of what we are thinking. Left is plus 60 and right is minus 60. So I changed, look at what I did, I changed this x as x plus 60 because of that 60 degrees to the left, then the remaining is plus 30, okay. So now what is this equation? Minus 4 cos 60 plus 30 is 90, that means x plus 90, okay. So this one is minus 4 cos x plus 90, you can write as 90 plus x. 90 plus x means in which quadrant? 90 plus x means in the second, 90 plus, that means on the second quadrant. Second quadrant, what is positive? Sign is positive. Here what? It is negative, okay, because 90 plus means this is 90, 90 plus means second quadrant. Second quadrant sign is positive. Here what? It is cos, so it is supposed to be negative, and if it is based on 90, you have to change the trigonometry. So what must I do? This is minus 4, this minus is this one, but here we got minus, okay, minus, since it is based on 90, you have to change its cofunction. What is a cofunction of cos? It is sine, then it is x, okay. So now look at this one. 90 plus x means second quadrant. Second quadrant, what is positive? Sine is positive. Here what? It is cos, so it is negative. Since it is based on 90, you have to change its cofunction. So what is the cofunction of cos? It is sine, then that acute angle, okay. So now look at this one, minus into minus, what is minus into minus? Positive, so it is positive 4 sine x. Now look at this, we did so far, we did only the first transformation. What is that? Shifted 60 degrees to the left. Then continue reading that question, and then reflected about the x-axis. So let me call this g of x as y, okay. So g of x is a function, so I can call that as y. That means y is equal to 4 sine x. So if this graph after 60 degrees to the left, this is the equation, okay. So this graph, what they are saying, and then reflected about the x-axis. If a graph reflected about the x-axis, what you have to do, what you studied in your school, if a graph reflected about the x-axis means you have to change the sign of y. So here look at what I am going to do, I am going to change the sign of y. This y becomes minus y. Why? Because here the reflection based on x-axis. Reflection based on x-axis means that this sign of y changes. That means here it is positive y, here it is minus y. So minus y is equal to 4 sine x. Don't think that I am multiplying with minus y on both sides. It's not like that. Why I change this y to minus? Stop it. Okay, so reflection based on the x-axis, it is I change the sign of this y. Minus y is equal to 4 sine x, okay. So I can't leave the answer like this, because here I can't leave minus y, I have to write a positive y. See, that's a standard form of a function. So if I want to write this as positive y, what must I do? I throughout multiply with a y. So minus into minus is positive y is equal to minus into plus is minus 4 sine x, okay. Now look at that question once more. And then reflected about the x-axis to form a new graph h. So this is after two type of transformation, shifted 60 degrees to the left, that is this one, then reflection based on the axis, that this one. So this is the final equation, and they call that equation as a h of x. So this y, the new equation after the two type of transformation, the new equation they call as h of x. So what is h of x? H of x is equal to minus 4 sine x. So look at the question. Determine the equation of h in its simplest form. So what is our h of x? H of x is equal to minus 4 sine x. So look at this one, guys. This was our equation. Okay, so they said there are two type of transformation. First one is shifted 60 degrees to the left. So if a graph shifted 60 degrees to the left means that you have to change the x value as left means plus 60, just opposite of what you are thinking. Okay, so I change this x is x plus 60, then the remaining 30, then we solve that one. So if you want, you can check that, you can rewind and check what are the explanation here. So there we got y is equal to 4 sin x. Then what is the second type of transformation? Reflection based on the x-axis. If the reflection is based on the x-axis, what you studied, you have to change the sign of y. So this y becomes minus y. Okay, then multiply and we got the new equation, and they call that new equation as h of x. So what is h of x? Minus 4 sin x. That's the answer. So that is question number from February 2018 question. Okay, so next lesson we can do February March 2017. Okay.